Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis decided to deliver what can only be described as an epic clapback to the Republicans accusing her of having an improper relationship with one of her fellow prosecutors, a relationship that, as of about a week ago, Fani Willis now freely admits to. The other prosecutor, of course, is Nathan Wade, and in her over 100-page court filing this past week, Fani Willis pointed out two facts. First of all, obviously, this relationship with this guy has no bearing on the case at all. A grand jury is the one, that's the group that actually said, yes, charge Donald Trump with these that our relationship has nothing to do with any of the facts of the case. So I don't know why everybody's making a big deal of it. Secondly, she pointed out, by the way, court, if my relationship with this guy is improper, let's talk about all of the relationships with the co-defendants' lawyers. Let me read you this from Fani Willis's filing. Personal relationships among lawyers, even on opposing sides of litigation, do not constitute impermissible conflicts of interest. It is worth noting that there are at least two personal relationships among the collection of defense attorneys representing the defendants that, under the standard urged by the Romans motion, would almost certainly require disqualification. She's, of course, referring to Michael Roman, who is the co-defendant, former Trump staffer, who actually filed the initial complaint alleging that Willis should be removed for having the relationship. That's where all this started. So she added, Amanda Clark Palmer, counsel representing defendant Ray Smith, and Scott Grubman, representing defendant Kenneth Chesbro, are publicly known to be in a personal relationship. Since defendant Chesbro has pled guilty and agreed to testify for the state in the upcoming trial against defendant Smith and the other remaining defendants, one who was ill-informed about the standard for attorney disqualification in Georgia might argue that the personal relationship between Clark Palmer and Grubman could rise to the level of a conflict given potential testimony by Grubman's client inculpating Clark Palmer's client. That, of course, would be an incorrect conclusion to draw. Similarly, counsel for defendant Jenna Ellis are married law partners, working together and representing defendant Ellis throughout these proceedings. I love the way she phrased that. Like, honestly, if she were holding a mic at this point, that's when you drop it. Because you just nailed him. Like, you just absolutely destroyed everything that Roman said in his initial complaint against you. You're like, oh, it's a problem that we're actually on the same team and doing this? Well, let me point out that the two people, one representing somebody who pled guilty and is going to testify, they're having a relationship with somebody who this guy is testifying against. So if this is improper, then holy hell, that's got to be improper. Because if those lawyers are having a relationship with somebody, representing people, one who's going to flip on the other, do you not think that that would be improper? But it's not, she says. They can do that. Now, honestly, I kind of think maybe no. That actually seems like a very big conflict of interest. One lawyer representing the guy who's going to flip on the other lawyer's client while those two are having a relationship. That actually does definitely seem like a massive conflict of interest, but it is what it is. If you're going to try to disqualify Willis over this relationship, then you're going to have to disqualify so many other lawyers on the other side because theirs is actually way worse. So Willis got a good one in on Roman and all of these Republican attacks that she has suffered. Now, of course, that's not the end of it. We do still have accusations that she demoted a so-called whistleblower who said, hey, one of your staffers is misusing federal funds. That's what Jim Jordan recently subpoenaed her about in an attempt, of course, to further humiliate her. We'll see what happens with that. If she did, in fact, demote a whistleblower, then that's a very serious issue. But based on what we've seen so far, all of these allegations from Republicans have either been completely debunked or shown to be 100% overblown. So we'll wait and see. But right now, Willis is starting to look a little bit better.